Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Emily. Emily King is a student in our Theatre Arts Studio 58 program. Please be seated. Mr. President, representatives of the board, members of faculty and staff, honored guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Snowaeth Laleham, Langara College, and thank you for joining us today. I declare open this 2017 Convocation of Langara College. This convocation is assembled for the granting of credentials and awarding of honors. My name is Dr. Ian Humphreys. I am the Provost and Vice President, Academic and Students at Langara College, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. Please be aware that the ceremony is being filmed for viewing in other locations and on our website. On behalf of Snowaeth Laleham, I wish to acknowledge with respect the history, customs, and culture of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Musqueam Nation, on whose traditional lands we are meeting today. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of our platform party. Please hold your applause until everybody has been introduced. Dr. Lane Trotter, President and Chief Executive Officer. Musqueam First Nation Councillor, Morgan Guerin. Ms. Lenora Gates, Board of Governors and Director, Langara College Foundation. Mr. Scott McLean, President, Langara Faculty Association. Dr. Vida Rudal Persad, Board Governor. Mr. Gary Mason, Vice Chair, Langara College Foundation. Ms. Gail Sparrow, former Chief of Musqueam First Nations, Langara Elder in Residence. Dr. Christopher Gaze, Founding Artistic Director of Bard on the Beach Shakespeare Festival and today's keynote speaker. Mr. Robert Dykstra, retired faculty member of journalism, who will be rewarded the Emeritus designation at today's ceremony. Mrs. Gwyneth Lewis, retired faculty member of classical studies, who will also be awarded the Emeritus designation at today's ceremony. Ms. Dawn Palmer, Vice President, People Services. Mr. Ian McBain, Interim Dean, Faculty of Arts. Ms. Jacqueline Bradshaw, Interim Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Management. Ms. Margaret Heldman, Dean, Faculty of Science. Ms. Moira Gugstetter, Director, College Advancement, and Executive Director, Langara College Foundation. Mr. Clayton Monroe, Dean of Student Services and Registrar. Mr. Victor Soka, Vice President, Administration and Finance. Mr. A.J. Patel, Vice President, External Development. Ms. Sherry Chin Shu, Director, Labor Relations and Human Rights. Mr. Roger Simmons, Division Chair, Humanities. And Mr. Tomo Tanaka, Division Chair, Creative Arts. I would also like to recognize some special guests who have joined us in the audience today. Elder Mary Charles, Holly Charles, Christy Lee Charles, Kathy Charles, Charlene Charles, Bradley Charles, and Frank Charles. And Sherry Hancock, Langara faculty retiree, Design Formation. Andrew Franklin, Vice President of Digital Development of Black Press Media, Canada. And representatives from the Langara College Students' Union. Thank you all for joining us at today's ceremony. And now, to honor the late elder Henry Charles, President Lane Trotter.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to stand before you today to remember Musqueam elder Henry Charles, who passed away on January 28th of this year. Henry was a member of the Musqueam First Nation and grew up on their traditional territories. It is likely that Henry spent some of his childhood on these very grounds, as Langara College rests on the unceded territory of the Musqueam peoples. Henry Charles was dedicated to the preservation and learning of the Hunkaminam language. As a native storyteller and historian, he fostered a relationship of appreciation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. Henry Charles was an amazing man, and Langara College was fortunate to have him share his gifts of public speaking, storytelling, and singing during events such as our student orientation and the special ceremony that occurred in January 2016, where Musqueam gave Langara College the name Snawaeth Laylam. During the 2016 Convocation ceremonies last June, we were honored to have, for the first time, a traditional Aboriginal song and drumming procession for the platform party that was led by Elder Henry Charles. Today, the platform party was led by his daughter, Christy Lee Charles, a Musqueam singer, drummer, and storyteller. To honor Henry today, we also are joined by Henry's wife, Holly, and mother, Elder Mary Charles, and his siblings. Thank you for being here. On behalf of Langara College, I would like to thank you for sharing Henry with our community, and I invite the platform party to raise their hands with me to Christy Lee as she works to carry on her father's legacy. Haichka. At this time, I invite Gail Sparrow, former chief of Musqueam First Nation, and Langara elder in residence to bring traditional territorial greetings. Gail.
Ichuail, my CMs, which is the meaning of a warm welcome in our language of the Musqueam First Nations. And I add the word CM because it's important today, because the Faculty of Arts students are graduating from Snawaeth Laylam, Langara, the college with first in Canada to have a name at the head of the college. As I have to recognize, importantly, that Lane Trotter also has a name, Stakaya, which means wolf. He's not a wolf man, but wolves were the leaders of the pack, very strong in families and strong in leadership. So it's appropriate that he also has that name, being the head of the president of Langara College. I also must recognize, such a traditionally, that the sitting chief, Wayne Sparrow, my baby brother, is not here. He's ill, sends his regrets, and in place his nephew, Morgan Guerin, our band counselor, to recognize him. Also to recognize our elder, Mary Charles, late Henry's mother, and all the Charles family that are here today, and recognizing and honoring their brother, their uncle, their father, for the great works he did here in Langara. Now, Musqueam is a land of rich cultural heritage. It was taught to us, where is your history? Where is your history written? And our grandfathers and grandmothers and teachers told us your history is written in the earth. So you open up the earth, there's your story. And as you know, the lands of Canada, the great lands of Canada, the true ancestors of Canada are the First Nations. Rich in our cultural heritage, we're never stripped of our own cultural teachings. And Musqueam is a great pathfinder in many ways that they've done first. The first ever female chief elected in Canada was Gertrude Guerin. The first ever youngest chief and council in Canada was Chief Johnny Sparrow, Councillor Andrew Charles, and Councillor Bill Guerin. The first ever band manager in Canada was my late father, Willard Sparrow. The first ever breach of trust case in Canada to sue the Queen for breach of trust, which originally was led by former Chief Percy Charles and my late father, Chief Willard Sparrow, handed over to the Guerin family and achieved the greatest ever first breach of trust against the government for failing to release our lease monies that was held in trust by the government, and we sued them for $10 million. The first ever case against Canada on our rights entitlement to fish was initiated through Musqueam. So we have many firsts, and our meaning of S'nayuth Leilum is our house of teachings. So the students that have graduated here today have been in Langara learning through this Langara's house of teachings. It's taught your S'nayuth is either good teachings or bad teachings. To take with you the best, and you'll always be your best. If you take which is worse, then you'll always be your worst. But that was taught to us. You breathe it in, you learn it, you hold it, and you live with it. We also know as First Nations, and we share with the students here today, your certificate you have doesn't say quit on there. It's acknowledged that you are a student that graduated in the Faculty of Arts. That will carry you to your future. As we have believed in First Nations people, too, your teachings are important. The teachings make you who you are. So we're grateful that Langara has included Musqueam First Nations, recognizing us as the first peoples here on these lands where these students will walk with the richest cultural teachings that they'll ever engage in their life through S'nayuth Leilum. So we say to you, thank you. We raise our hands. If we could raise our hands together, it's our way to raise our hands to say Haichka. We say Haichka, our CMs, to each one of us here today. And I hand over now the time to Sitting Councillor Morgan Guerin to greet on behalf of the Musqueam First Nations. Haichka, my CMs.
Thank you, Gail, for that important greeting. We value our relationship with the Musqueam Nation, and we appreciate your participation today. Thank you so much. I now invite Musqueam First Nation Councillor Morgan Guerin to say a few words.
Awesome. Thank you, Auntie. It's always hard to follow in a great woman's footsteps when you have words like that, especially our former chief and a fighter for our people as well. I want to recognize my family. And today is an emotional day, but a strong medicine. And just as Auntie said, for the rest of you, this is a medicine for my family. That's work that's been done today. So Haichka to the board. Thank you for this work that you've done. To recognize a man's work, a little bit of time he takes away from his family, but he gives it to a different family, this one here. And I know in his heart he looked at each and every one of you as that. So Haichka to you all for recognizing and witnessing that work today. My name is Morgan Guerin, Satsalenu. I am one of the councillors, elected councillors from the Musqueam First Nation. It's been my honor to sit in that chair for a few sessions now. And part of that is to stand before groups and start the protocol, same as my auntie has said. It's a welcoming you to our traditional territory, to set the table so that the work that you're doing today goes smoothly. Our ancestors are watching, they're here with us today. So on behalf of Chief and Council and Musqueam people, I'd also like to welcome you to our traditional and unceded territory. To speak a little bit about Musqueam and Langara's relationship, we've had many of our people come here, myself included, my mother, my brother, and we've gone on to bigger and better things. And as Auntie said, it wasn't a certificate said that you're done, you're just getting started, and buckle up. But that said, Musqueam did put a name on this place, Snoeat Leilum, a house of teaching, and literally a teaching's house. And Snoeat is something, it's a bit of knowledge that's been given to you, either by someone or life has given you that. And it's a medicine. And both are, there's no good and there's no bad. It's how you feed it after you're done getting it. And it becomes part of your being. That is our teaching, the teaching of our ancestors. And I say, whenever life gives you something that seems like a hard lesson, fight, because you will be stronger for it. And that's the Snoeath. That's that part of that name. Very powerful name, and it wasn't put on here lightly. I was very proud to be around that day as well. Musqueam sent out a call about 2 years ago, and I sit on a part of our community services group, which is actually our education committee, to the various learning institutions around the Lower Mainland, what's now known as the Lower Mainland. And all came forward and sent their presidents, their chairs, or members who could speak on their behalf. Langara was no exception. And more to that point, Langara opened their arms and their hearts and said, and what more can we do? What more can we do, not to only understand, but to educate to our students where they're standing on? And it's very important, as Auntie had said before, we're Hualmuk people, we belong to the earth. That's where our history is. And so that understanding that's passed forward to our group, to our young students as you move on, is not just who owned or who belonged to this land before, the oldest ancestors to the area. But now, as you understand that, you understand the importance that it means not only to the Musqueam people, but you become stewards for that as well. It is also your job to take care of that. And so as that welcoming comes at the beginning of this, do you come with an open heart and an open mind, and do you come in peace? Well, as we welcome you on, it's now yours to take care of this little piece of Mother Earth as you are here. I'm very proud of the relationship between Musqueam and Langara, beaming proud actually. I'm very proud of my auntie as she sits with whomever she needs to sit with, helping guide in the ways of our ancestors on this land here. And I raise my hands up to my uncle and his family. And as a young man, my late uncle was a mentor. He was the one, if you're stuck, Uncle, what do I say when I go to meet these people? Don't picture them in their underwear. That backfires real fast. But seriously, son, and then he'd say, Stu, and then he'd have a bit of advice. And as his time has come now to be with his ancestors, it is now our job. And I look to my sister, my cousin over there, and I'm very proud of the work that she's carrying out, as I know they all are as well. So, haichka. And to all of you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of our Chief and Council, which represents our people, so on behalf of the Musqueam people, thank you for your time and dedication. Sincerely, to the students, to the parents, the support. I know, I have 5 at home. One's coming here next year. So. It's my honor. When you have guests in your home, and this is always our home, it is always an honor. So thank you for the support you've given to those students, and thank you to the students as you carry forward into this world, making it a little bit of a better place. Haichka, haichka, haitzapka. Voice.
I now invite Lenora Gate, Board Governor and Director of the Langara College Foundation, to bring greetings to the Convocation.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the House of Learning. Welcome, Dr. Trotter, faculty, staff, guests, parents, and most important, our graduates of 2017. It is truly my honor and privilege to bring greetings and heartfelt congratulations from the Board of Governors of Langara College, and on behalf of our chair, Quinn Grauer, who could not be here today. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you. Today's an important day, a day to celebrate another big step in your personal growth, your personal brand. That's what we call it in the business that I'm in today. I talk to people about their own growth, but I talk about their own personal brand. And so this is another step in your branding. This is a day you can celebrate and recognize your achievements and your hard work and the completion of this portion of your education. And I say this portion because you never really stop learning. This is not the end. Life is full of learning and growing. Whether you take your next steps to further your education or you decide to continue now onto your career, never stop that desire to learn or lose the curiosity, because that is what will really propel you forward in life. And to accomplish what you have, you've had to take a lot of responsibility. You've had to work hard, you've had to practice discipline, and these are the same characteristics that you will need to take forward. These are what are going to be required as you move into your careers and go forward in life. So take these strengths of character, your intellectual tools, your knowledge, and go seize your opportunities. They're out there, they're waiting for you. Langara College is committed to providing an accessible education that meets a diverse community. Each and every single time I step onto this campus, I see that diversity, and we certainly see it even with the ceremony today being embraced by the Musqueam community. And then when I look around at all these graduates, I think we represent something like 56, 57, 58 countries. It's amazing. This is a diverse community. And I'm gratified to be part of an institution that is helping empower all of you and with the knowledge that you will leave here. So when you do leave, don't forget Langara College. Remember your friends, the new ones, the old ones that you came here with, your instructors and your staff. You know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. You have been surrounded by an amazing village. You are part of that village. Stay in touch. Don't lose touch with your village. You are always welcome here at Langara College. We wish you much congratulations and much success going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenora. I'm now pleased to call upon President Lane Trotter, who will provide greetings.
Platform party, colleagues, students, guests, welcome to the 2017 Convocation ceremony of Langara College, Snowaeth Lalem. The 6 convocation ceremonies that we are hosting this week are the largest number that we have ever hosted. But before I continue, I just want to acknowledge and thank the Musqueam Nation on whose unceded territory Langara College is situated. In fact, the college is located on what once was the site of a Musqueam village, and Langara thanks the Musqueam First Nation for their support for this institution and for giving us the name Snowaeth Lalem, which, as you've heard, means House of Teachings. Langara College Snowaeth Lalem is a special place that helps students pursue their goals, whether it's to further studies, to gain the skills needed to enter the labor market, or to career advancement or transition. Since Langara's inception in 1965, the college has always been focused on helping students succeed. From our beginning, whether that was in temporary facilities until we moved to this current campus in 1970, or when we became an independent institution in 1994, students have been at the center of all we do. And to date, Langara has more than 100,000 alumni who have gone on to pursue their dreams and add their skills and talent to the richness and diversity of our society. Their contributions have made our community a better place, and in return, the community has continued to place its trust in Langara to educate and train not only the next generation of young people, but to support those seeking new pathways to a better future. But we would not be here today celebrating the success of our graduands without the people that have supported them during their education. We need to thank those, many of whom are here today, who have supported you, our students, while you pursued your studies, whether it was your parents, other family members, spouses and significant others, or even friends. And I particularly want to acknowledge and thank our faculty and staff for their dedication and commitment for your education and success. Finally, I want to acknowledge and thank our Langara College Foundation and those members of our community who have donated funds to create scholarships and bursaries to support student success. They have all had a role to play in helping our students be here today. So on behalf of the college, I want to publicly thank all of those individuals for their support you have provided in helping our graduands succeed. To our students, you've achieved a milestone in being here today, but before you leave, I want to take this opportunity to offer some advice, since you're a captive audience. Recently, I had the privilege to listen to Julie Payette speak at the annual Colleges and Institutes Canada conference about her experience as an astronaut, seeing the Earth from space from both the Space Shuttle and the International Space Station, or the ISS, which is a partnership between the United States, Europe, Japan, Canada, and Russia. It's been in space for 16 years with a goal to use science to constantly push the limits of knowledge. One of the points that Ms. Payette made is that we seldom hear about the International Space Station because it works. She also said, in space, performance, skills, ability, and competence are what count, not gender or race. Furthermore, Ms. Payette indicated that the International Space Station has Russian and American components and modules that were made by different measurement systems, but they still fit together. The International Space Station demonstrates how 5 different and sometimes competing nations can work together, because any failure in space can be catastrophic. Ms. Payette also said seeing Earth from space put things in perspective about how tiny and tenuous the planet actually is. She noted that there is only a fragile 100-kilometer cushion of air from the ground to the edge of space. And that's not a lot of cushion. To put that in perspective, it would take you 1 hour driving at 100 kilometers an hour to go from the ground to the edge of space, to touch space. So anything that affects the cushion will have an immediate impact on us. She also noted that from space, you can go to Vancouver to St. John's in 9 minutes, and you see a sunrise and sunset every 45 minutes. Ms. Payette's perspective is that our planet is much smaller than we think. She also said that in space, you must work together. It is a dangerous endeavor, and you must keep your mind on the pursuit of excellence. Otherwise, things go sideways. Her words are very appropriate, especially in today's unsettled world. And now more than ever, we must all work together, or things will go sideways on us. Ms. Payette made another point that I think is very applicable for today's convocation ceremony. She said, whether in space or in college, it's all about knowledge. What this means is that education is a journey, not a destination, so continue to build your knowledge and skills and recognize that today is not the end, although some of you are hoping it is, but a milestone on the journey of your life. Her final words, I think, were quite salient. Champion the values that you believe in. It is important for us to stand up for the things we believe in to make a better society and a stronger community. But we must always be prepared to have a dialogue with those who disagree with us if we are to maintain the democratic structures that underpin our community, society, and country. We may disagree with each other, but it is incumbent upon all of us to be honest and protect our rights to different perspectives. If we do not protect our ability to respectfully disagree with each other, then we risk a breakdown of those democratic institutions. So as you leave the college today to pursue your path, appreciate the opportunities that you have been provided and consider how you will contribute your knowledge, passion, energy to build a better, more prosperous, sustainable, and fair and democratic society. Because, as Ms. Payette noted, we all share the same spaceship. Thank you for your time and patience. Enjoy your day. You've earned it. Tomorrow, the work begins. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trotter. At this time, Scott McLean, President of the Langara Faculty Association, will bring greetings to Convocation from the faculty. Scott?
Good morning. I would first like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Musqueam and Coast Salish peoples, and to thank them. Board members, President Trotter, honored guests, colleagues, and graduands, it is a privilege to extend to you, on behalf of the Faculty Association, our very best wishes on this special day. Today is an acknowledgement of the hard work and dedication that you and your families have put towards your studies. We appreciate the efforts and the sacrifices that you have made in order to accomplish what is being recognized here today. I know that I speak for the entire faculty when I tell you that it has been a great joy and honor to have been a part of your journey. We understand that what you have accomplished is not easy and respect the perseverance and commitment that you have all shown. You are inspiring and your success is truly impressive. Okay, that's true, right, guys? Yeah. Okay. As a faculty, we have the opportunity to make an important contribution in the lives of our students. Along the way, we have helped you to choose your course of study, to introduce you to new subjects, and of course, to take up all of your free time with assignments. It has been an incredibly rewarding experience to support your growth. Learning is a reciprocal process. Teaching and working with you has been a rich learning experience for us. And we want to sincerely thank you for making us better educators. You're now going on to do important work in our communities or to pursue further studies. We know that you will continue to make significant contributions as you move forward in your lives. Thank you for choosing Langara. Congratulations, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Scott. I now ask President Trotter to present today's Convocation Awards.
Thank you, Ian. It is with great pleasure that I present today's awards. Emeritus is Latin for having merited one's discharge by service. It is an honorary title conferred to retired faculty or professional staff to recognize their distinguished service to an organization. At this ceremony, we honor two faculty emeriti, and I would like to first recognize Robert Dykstra, Faculty Emeritus in Journalism. Robert, would you please step forward while I introduce you? Robert Dykstra has dedicated much of his professional life to teaching. He retired in 2016 after 32 years of service at Langara as an instructor, coordinator, and chair of the Langara Journalism Program, as well as chair of the Creative Arts Division. During his time at Langara, notable accomplishments included the launching of the Langara Journalism Review, chairing a college committee mandated to establish groundwork for Langara's first research ethics board to over research involving human subjects. Mr. Dykstra was instrumental in creating opportunities to connect students with industry professionals and facilitated student internships and entry-level jobs. He is a recipient of the Langara Leadership Excellence Award and more recently the Bill Good Award in recognition for his significant contribution to the field of journalism. Post-retirement, he continues to do freelance editing projects while also making time to sail, garden, raise honeybees, and poke around in less traveled parts of the world. Congratulations, Robert. Next, I would like to recognize Gwyneth Lewis, Faculty Emerita in Classical Studies. Gwyneth, would you please stand and step forward while I introduce you? Gwyneth Lewis taught at Langara for 25 years in history, Latin, and classical studies. Throughout her tenure, Ms. Lewis displayed an exemplary dedication to her students, the classical studies program, to scholarship, and to Langara. She created the core courses of the program, found a way to offer Latin and ancient Greek, and led popular field schools to Greece, which in January would be quite popular. Because of Ms. Lewis, Langara is unique among colleges as the only two-year institution to still offer a two-year classical studies program. She also served on the board of several community organizations, including Pharos, the Hellenic Society of Vancouver, and the Vancouver chapter of the Archaeological Institute of America. Yoicks. She regularly gave papers at the Classical Association of Canada's annual meetings and a variety of other local community associations. Ms. Lewis is thoroughly dedicated to the study of classical studies, but she is even more dedicated to the community and to her students. Few instructors have her combination of creative vision, her ability to inspire, motivate, and support, and her depth of breadth and knowledge about the ancient world. After retirement, her research into ancient Greek inscriptions and the Greek and Latin roots of English continues. Plutarch said that students are not vessels to be filled, but fires to be kindled. Well, Ms. Lewis has lit a forest fire. Congratulations, Gwyneth.
Thank you, Lane, and congratulations to Robert and to Gwyneth. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Christopher Gaze, who will give today's Convocation address. Dr. Gaze trained as an actor at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School in England and arrived in Canada in 1975, acting at various theatre companies across Canada and the United States. An accomplished and talented actor and director, Dr. Gaze founded the popular Bard on the Beach Shakespeare Festival in 1990. He has since nurtured youth outreach and education programs, hosts the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra's Tea and Trumpets, and hosts their annual traditional Christmas concerts. Dr. Gaze has received many honors, including induction into the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame, Canada's Meritorious Service Medal, honorary doctorates from the University of British Columbia and Simon Fraser University, the British Columbia Community Achievement Award, the Gold Medallion from the Children's Theatre Foundation of America, the Mayor's Award for Theatre, and the Order of British Columbia. Unquestionably, Dr. Gaze plays a leading role in British Columbia as an advocate for the arts in general. Please extend a warm welcome to Dr. Christopher Gaze.
Thank you very much. There is a tide in the affairs of man that taken at the flood leads on to fortune, says my friend Shakespeare. And he has been a friend. I find in the words the very beauties of life, of love, of living. Even in my early school days, there was something in the words that beguiled me, that reverberated in my heart and soul, something that gave me a direction. The stories were massive, sometimes deeply complex, but they were rich and bottomless. Harold Bloom, the Shakespearean academic, in his book, Shakespeare and the Invention of the Human, he started his book this way. There is the Bible, there is Shakespeare, and then there's everybody else. The books of my youth were books of poetry. In these poems was my grail, my feelings, my desires, all wrapped up in divine words. I wanted to share with anyone these words, anyone that would listen. I knew what I wanted to do very early in my life. I wanted to be an actor. My enthusiasm was supported by early affirming experiences. I joined the National Youth Theatre. I played leading roles in the school plays, and I did well in speech competitions. My housemaster at my boarding school that I attended from 8 to 18, Husby Point College in Sussex, England, saw me through my rebellious teens with compassion, with firmness, and a fatherly affection, and he was puzzled but relieved when I auditioned and gained entry into the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School in 1970. He was puzzled because he felt that the world of the theatre was deeply insecure and full of all the potential pitfalls that lurked in its somewhat murky reputation. My parents, on the other hand, delighted in the freedom of choice for their son, the freedom that had been denied them by the Second World War. So I danced, I sang, I fenced, I acted, and I grew up over the next 3 years. At the end of it all, I joined the theatre as a professional, a trained actor. My mentor emerged as a man called Douglas Campbell, recognized by Canada as a great pioneer of Canadian theatre. How fortunate I was to make his acquaintance. He was a true aficionado of Shakespeare. He had hired me as a leading young actor in his company in the UK, and he liked me as I liked and admired him. He inspired me to come to Canada, to expand my horizons and participate in the wonders of this unique and marvelous land. It's a joyful reality in my life that I've always sought the knowledge and guidance of older people like Douglas. I suppose it's a constant search for wisdom, for insights into life, work, relationships, all the mysteries that surround us. And this natural phenomenon has been one of the great joys of my life. And of course, my father, whom I admired, loved, and respected, was the gentle hand of support and trust that it was as constant as the North Star. Mentors are so important. Indeed, Douglas's mentor was Tyrone Guthrie. He was the first artistic director of Stratford, Ontario. Guthrie was an honorary doctor of literature of St. Andrews, as I am at UBC and SFU. How I would love to have met him. But I learned of a tale about him that adds a little caution to the honorary title of doctor. Without having any actual medical knowledge, Guthrie was extremely pleased with his title and was known as Dr. Guthrie. On one occasion, this led to a minor embarrassment. While staying at a vast hotel in Brooklyn, the telephone went in the middle of the night and the operator said, "Dr. Guthrie, there's a gentleman in room 204 having a heart attack. Would you go along, please?" So like a flash, Tony Guthrie went along. And when asked some days later what he had done, he said, "Well, I made him a strong cup of tea and held his hand." He was much better in the morning. I advised him, of course, to call a medical doctor next time. But Guthrie came out of the theatre in the UK with the likes of Laurence Olivier, Dame Sybil Thorndike, Alec Guinness, and so forth. Myself and my good companions at Bard are the direct recipients, the legatees of these legendary forces in the theatre. They're not dead. They're alive and well, and they live in us. I take great pride and solace in these thoughts, and I honor today all those who've gone before and have passed on their passion and their love of the theatre. Guthrie once said this, "I know that nothing lasts forever, particularly the ephemeral theatre, but such is the transitory and fluid nature of existence. Indeed, no enterprise has ever fulfilled or can ever fulfill its purpose completely. The most you can hope for is to take a respectable shot at an unobtainable goal and to succeed partially and intermittently. But what he was defining is the same as Don Quixote: to dream the impossible dream, to keep swinging at the windmills, and to never, ever give up. Bard is the Camelot that I dreamed of. It's an event of simple but potent proportion that has touched close to 2 million people now. It's a sharing of Shakespeare in an idyllic spot on earth that has a profundity, a mystery that we celebrate and marvel. And for you all, your life is an open book. You'll write your own story, and you'll have the leading role in that story. You will hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, her form and pressure. But how will you choose to play your part? Polonius, in Shakespeare's Hamlet, has some words of wisdom for all of us as he sends his son Laertes off to university. Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing season this in thee, and these few precepts in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. But this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee. So with Shakespeare as a guide, with a degree from this celebrated college, with your hearts and minds engaged on this unique moment in time, go forth, one and all, with pride, with humility, with kindness, with openness to your lives, to everything that follows. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. But let's finish with a flourish. 3 cheers for Langara, for your lives to come, for your loved ones that walk with you, and for your great accomplishments that we celebrate here today. Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Thank you very much.
Dr. Gaze, thank you very much for that inspiring address. I'm going off script now. I do believe I have been given an impossible task of having to follow you. On behalf of Langara College, President Trotter would like to present you with a small gift in appreciation of your excellent remarks and for the time you spent with us today. And now on to the presentation of graduands, which is why most of you are here today. President Trotter, the candidates to be presented to you today and those who are absent have fulfilled all the requirements for their respective credentials. I ask that you confer upon each of them the credential which has been earned. Will the graduands please rise?
By the authority granted to me by the government of this province, I admit you and those in absentia to the credentials to which you are entitled. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Such a small number of words for such a significant achievement. We'll now begin the presentation of our graduates. No longer graduands, now graduates. When each graduate is announced, they will stand here near the front corner of the stage to have their first photograph taken. They will then be greeted by some of our platform party members on my right and have a second photograph taken with the president. That's the one that always confuses people. You have to stop and have a photograph taken with the president. Faculty who would like to congratulate their graduates may approach the platform to my right. Audience members who want to move closer to the front for a photo of their graduate may come to the same side of the platform when it is close to the time that their graduate will cross the stage. Please be mindful not to block the view of others and to return to your seats afterwards so that others may approach the front for photographs. I now ask Ian McBain, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to announce the names of the graduates.
Our first group of graduates are receiving an Associate of Arts degree. Micah Antoni Dees. Alexandra Obu. Laura Beaudry. Graduating with distinction, Ashma Bama. Graduating with distinction, Harper Campbell. Jasmine Chukman Chan. Wendy Chen. Miki Chausa. Kelsey Dawes. Sharanvir Kaur Dillon. Catalina Gillies. Joshua Kirkgard. Nahi Kim. Jonathan Lau, and also receiving a Diploma in Arts of Science. Pamela Lee. Emily Lewis. Anthony Ma. Nadika Novak. Nadika was graduating with distinction. Yunju Yang. Ayano Yokoku. And now the next group will be graduating with a diploma in arts and science. Sharif Bar. Arshdeep Bular. Chantel Bousquet. Loveline Brar. Graduating with distinction, Navdeep Kaur Gill. Elizabeth Karabaza. Jaspreet Kaur-Nab. Simranjeet Kaur. Sukhmeet Kaur. Sherame Lorente. Wanjun Lee. Simrunjit Randawa. Kamaljit Sidhu. Jagjit Singh. Jagraj Kang. And now, Associate of Arts degree in Classical Studies, Teresa Mitchell. Associate Arts degree in Creative Writing, Devin Branigal. Manveen Kaur. Heather Vinaya. And now a diploma in design formation, Renzo Balbin. Graduating with distinction, Lisina Faiso. Graduating with distinction, Duras Ho. Ramona Jessica Lynn Ramsey. Graduating with distinction, Serena Tren. And now students with Associate of Arts degree in English, Jana Baltazar. Associate of Science degree in Environmental Studies, graduating with distinction, Caitlin James. Diploma in Arts and Science for Environmental Studies, Nicholas Hare. Laura Taylor. Associate of Arts degree in Family Studies, Constance Isaac. Certificate in Film Arts for Acting, graduating with distinction, Marisa Raylene Burton. Kimberly Leanne Doyle. Graduating with distinction, Alexandra McDougall. Millicent Kate Noren. Heather Deborah Tays Searle. Certificate in Film Arts for Directing, Zenshur Singh Dillon. Kelvin John Dilla. Graduating with distinction, Olivia Sarah Grace Lindgren. Graduating with distinction, Oliver Michael Ian Robertson. Certificate in Film Arts for Writing, Callie Lynn Nelson. Graduating with distinction. Nicholas Frederick Jordan Shorn. Stephanie Singh. Diploma in Fine Arts, graduating with distinction, Trevor Brett. Philip Cheung. Graduating with distinction, Rosalind Hardy. Emily Prevost. Graduating with distinction, Dominique Norville. Chelsea Wright. Diploma in General Education, Partik. Rajbir Jaswal. Harveer Kaur. Kamaldeep Kaur. Jaskaranpreet Kaira. Sonia Lee. Anush Manchanda. Vipinder Deep Man. Rishab Sharma. Gurkirat Singh. Navjot Singh. Veer Kamal Singh. Ramandeep Kaur Sohi. Amandeep Singh Thind. Diploma in Journalism, Chantel Deacon. Simran Gill. Alid Llewellyn. Veronica Mokilip. Allison Pudsey. Anna Tilley. Jenna Taget. Chandler Walter, sorry. Certificate in Journalism, Tanner Bokor. Melanie Dawn Kangali. Stuart Neatby. Caitlin O'Flanagan. Bala Prasanna Yogesh Ramesh Raja. Associate of Arts degree in Latin American Studies, Jennifer Lowen. Diploma in Professional Photography, Yasmin Bakhtiar. Colleen de Guzman. Shannon Evans. Valerie Tsu. Stephanie Hunter. Laura Moore. Brenda Nelson. Also graduating with a Diploma in Arts and Science, Amberly Pang. Diploma in Publishing, Griselda Bokiran. Vanessa Gosselin. Diploma in Theater Arts at Studio 58 in Acting, Lisa Barron. Also graduating with distinction. Graduating with distinction, Elizabeth Deidre Barrett. Graduating with distinction, Quinn Cartwright. Graduating with distinction, Sabrina Denoyer. Graduating with distinction, Raylene Harewood. Graduating with distinction, Camille Legg. Graduating with distinction, William McGowan. Graduating with distinction, Krista Skwarek. Graduating with distinction, Connor Stinson O'Gorman. Mason Temple. Graduating with distinction, Amanda Marie Testini. Graduating with distinction, Brandon Wilbur. Graduating with distinction, Emily Doreen Wilson. Graduating with distinction, Stephanie Wong. And now, Diploma in Theater Arts at Studio 58 in production, Hannah Case. Graduating with distinction. Graduating with distinction, Jessica Keenan. Graduating with distinction, Alana Korf. And with an Associate of Arts degree in Women's Studies, Carissa Reed. Graduating with distinction, Peggy Yett.
Okay, so do you want me to, do you want them to do them like that? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, your graduates of 2017. Sure. Well, so the President has just informed me that because of a little technical problem that we had, there were 3 or 4 graduates who did not have a photograph taken, and he has kindly offered to have those photographs taken after the ceremony. If those students who did not have a photograph taken with the President, if you'd like to come forwards after the processional has left, we will take care of those photographs for you. As we bring this morning's ceremony to a close, I would like to take a moment to thank Emily King, who sang "O Canada," and also Emily Helsden, who played the violin prior to the ceremony and who will be playing at the reception. Mike MacDonald, the piper who led our procession. And Christy Lee Charles, the Musqueam singer and drummer who led our platform party. I would also like to extend our appreciation to the many college employees whose contributions have made this a memorable event. It is also my pleasure on behalf of the college and the Langara Students Association to invite you to a reception in the Langara Students' Union building immediately after the ceremony. Would you please rise and remain standing until the graduates have left the Convocation Hall. I now declare this convocation closed.